Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.
To stage. All right, now I am here. Ooh, that took a minute, didn't it? So I was having some difficulties with StreamYard, and StreamYard is sharing on YouTube, LinkedIn, and my Facebook realtor page. And I'm also okay. I was watching. Okay. And now I'm also on TikTok as well. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing advocate, realtor, and professional services in the GovCon space and the private business space as well, because I have a ton of investors. So thanks for joining my club. So today I got on a little late, a few minutes late. I want to apologize for that because today I had to um, put on my advocacy hat and my real calling around different places and him over um, referring him over to organizations so that he can get a caregiver. No caregiver. He said one young girl came over and she left. She left and never came back. And, and I'm now for Thanksgiving, I'm, I made a lot of food. And it's just two of us in my instruction. So he called me and finally he left the message. I'm like, thank you for leaving the message to tell me that he has his voucher in hand, his moving papers. I said, okay, good. So I said, the owner said, yes, we'll come see the unit tomorrow at 11. I'm picking you up at 10. So be ready. I get over there. He never asked, he didn't answer the phone after we initially spoke this morning at 8. So I knew he was there. So I get over, I said I was going to go straight to the building. I was going to tell him, you know what, you playing with me and I don't appreciate this. You want to play and I don't appreciate this. You know how I operate. I'm like, nope, let me go over. You just don't not answer my call. Over there and I parked car and I security. I said, I'm looking for this gentleman. He hasn't signed out. He's still home. I'm here to pick him up. And the telephone this morning at 8 a.m. The manager said, oh, who are you? I said, I'm Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate. Oh, okay. Oh, um, to advocate for him. He doesn't have family here. He said his sister took him to dinner to tell him that she was relocated. So after I got him up and again, everything, I get to take in everything. And I'm going to post this video. I referred him to a senior care, send out CNAs and health professionals to help him. The one girl, he said, came out and never came back. But he has no help. And as I'm standing there in the center of his living room, where his blow-up mattress is in the middle of the floor, I'm looking all around and I see that there's nobody there to care for him. Nobody. This is a man of integrity. This is a man who worked on the Gold Coast here in Chicago. This is a man who was educated as a chef and cooked in homeless shelters. He was the cook, the chef in homeless shelters for many, many years at the YMCA, and he named a few other places. Yeah, he's had struggles and challenges in his life, but haven't we all? Yeah. That's why I'm still sitting here in this chair sharing with you this story today and everything else that I share. I've been working with homeless veterans for more than 22 years. And I've seen a lot. So I wasn't startled when I saw the conditions of how he was living. But it just showed me again that there's nobody taking care of this man. There's nobody here advocating for this man. His social worker called the police on him because he told him, you're being belligerent or, uncouth, or I don't know, I forgot the word he said. But I went to his apartment and it's clear that he needed the help. And his social worker wasn't trying to help him. Because if he did, he would have the help that he needed, because the help is in our communities. He has a HUD-VASH voucher, a 1-bedroom voucher that pays the rent for a 1-bedroom here in Chicago, $1,742. But there's nobody to help him get an apartment. I'm like, dude, please get dressed. The owner is waiting for you, and so is your caretaker, your new caregiver, who lives right across the hall from where you're going to go move to. Oh, and by the way, there's a Marine on the first floor, just like you. Oh, but wait, there's another young lady. She's a senior, a tad bit younger than me. She lives downstairs too, very sweet. So now you're in a family building, in a building of people who all know each other because they've been there 10 plus years. And I put them all there. So now you have support. The girl across the hall is my great niece, and she's been a CNA, very loving and sweet young lady. So we're getting her set up so she could be his caregiver. Oh, the Marine downstairs came upstairs and they had a conversation, a few conversations. So he said, oh, okay, Yvette, I see this is going to be a project. All right. I said, so what y'all going to do? So he said, I like riding bikes, playing chess. This is my Marine who I took over there today, the senior Marine. I like to paint and draw. I said, okay, that's the new one. You didn't tell me that one. He said, yes, Yvette, I could really paint and draw. He said, I'm teaching myself with my left hand because the VA infused his right hand. So when you tell me, and by the way, we did his paperwork and I'll be submitting that this evening to the CHA here in the Chicagoland area. I already emailed his social worker yesterday and told him 2 days ago and told him that I will be advocating for him and getting him housed. So that's what happened today. That's why I was late getting on social media. So when people send me a message and say, I want to house homeless veterans, do you really? Do you know what you are getting yourself into? Do you know how to care for a human being? Because all veterans aren't the same. But one thing that we do have in common are the benefits that we can tap into. I like saying tap into because we can submit, we can apply. I'm just saying we can tap into a lot of benefits. So what this Marine already has as part of his benefit is housing. He's got a HUD-VASH voucher that just got him approved for housing. Oh, and the owner said, oh, we can go move him. He doesn't have to. Okay, thank you. This is a family building. And the owner also said, Yvette, you know, we're going to brunch, all of us. The tenants I put over there have been there for 10 and 11 years. So now he's going. And I've been doing this, and now I teach realtors how to do the same because this is still a transaction. So whatever his rent is, that's how much my commission will be, 100%. Because I'm dealing straight with the owner. No chasing, you or you. What? Credit? What? Background, what's that? What? Bank statements, what's that? When you're housing veterans from homeless through their transition to rentals, there are things you're going to have to know how to do, how to coordinate. And that's what I teach you how to do on my platform. I've been housing homeless veterans through programs as a realtor for over 22 years. I've been consulting my landlords and property managers all that time. Because when you're housing a veteran, he or she has to go somewhere. Somebody's going to get paid through one of these programs. So, and that's how I was getting paid, through these programs that'll pay the landlords and the landlords will pay me, or the programs would pay me on a contract. So when you tell me, Yvette, I want to house homeless veterans, how do you want to house homeless veterans? When there's so much money in our community that is in need of attaching itself to what you have to offer. Because the program that I just spoke about is going to pay rent. That's a program, and that's what I teach. So I have a master class that I offer. Oh, I should put it in the chat over here. Over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and and Facebook, I am dropping in my upcoming masterclass for you to register. So, housing homeless veterans is holistic, and that's what a lot of operators, new operators, and operators who are just operating to come and pick up money at the end of the month don't really understand about this being program driven. We just got in. Oh my goodness. I just got a notification yesterday that an additional two, I got one yesterday and one today, that additional funding is being insurged into the veterans homeless community. Additional funding. We just got in 1.8 billion in January, 855 million in January. So in 6 months, that was 1.8 billion. And now two more funding opportunities to an additional. I couldn't even read it all today. But it's always hundreds of organizations in our community that is about to receive millions more to use in our communities to fund the housing of homeless veterans. But if you don't know how to get the money, if you don't know where to get the money, then you're relying on the veteran to pay for his or her housing themselves. And they're homeless, or they're in transition, or they're being released from incarceration, or they're being discharged from the hospitals. You know, there's funding in our community for all of those individuals. There's all types of benefits in our community for veterans who need those services and those benefits. So my platform, I'm a bit different. I've, housing homeless veterans through my program myself. This is it, is written on the wall. I hope y'all could see this. This is what I do right here, right there. A veteran from homeless at risk through transitional housing, rentals, home ownership, investors, and business owners. What I do, y'all? I just told you what I do. Now, that's my program. Can I do this by myself? No, not at all. What's needed to help me do what I do is to help you do what you say you want done. So if you are an operator, you want to be an operator, in my program, I show you through education and publications. This is the first publication, A Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models. I would suggest you go and get this flagship book right now. This is where you're going to start with the foundation of what is veterans housing? What's veterans transitional housing? What's veterans HUD-VASH housing? What's veterans housing under SSVF? I mean, for real, what's veterans housing under COC? Continuum of care. I mean, what? I mean, this is veterans housing. It's not just putting a veteran in a room in a bed. No, that is called what we call in our community money grab. Oh, I always say how a business owner runs their business is their business. People, they keep texting and calling me, Yvette. I'm like, look, I can't control how people run their business, but what I can do is offer the education to show them how they can amplify their business, because what they're really doing is real estate investing. But right now, it is people funded. Put it that way. Yeah, it's people funded, not real estate investing. I just made that term up, people funded, because the people in those transitional units are funding their stay. I teach you how the government, because all this money has been awarded to all of these organizations, and the organizations must spend that money on what they say they're going to do in their grant. That's the reason they got the money, because in their business, in their business model, in order for them to get the grant, and it's a lot of money. Let me tell you how much money is out there. Hold on a second. I like to get my green money folder. So there's money as of August 27, 2025. I'm just going to read how much some of these organizations receive funding. Here's one in New Jersey. This is Catholic Family and Community Services. They received $3,407,873. Why did they get this money? Let me read it to you. And in the pages of this right here, there are 235 organizations that receive funding. So Washington, the Department of Veteran Affairs today, which was August 27, 2025, announced more than $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. So it's telling you right there what the money is for. All of this $818 million in our community is for veterans who are homeless or becoming homeless. Let's look at an organization in Oregon. It's called Access. And this is for veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. So Access in Oregon received in the grant $6,230,171. Again, for veterans in our community who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. Two more, and I'm for those of you who are receiving my emails will receive the links to the two grant opportunities that were sent to me, just so you can see how this money works. Once you do a couple things, in order for these grant recipients to have received this funding, this is what the VA says. VA awards grants based on a number of factors, including the grant recipient's experience and past performance in providing supportive services to veteran families and the need in the area or community where the program will be based. Throughout the fiscal year of 2026, this money is already in the community. The grants will fund local organizations as they help veterans access housing. That's on number one on the list. Housing counseling, health care, financial planning services, child care, legal assistance, and transportation. So my platform, VetMentors, that is my LLC. My platform teaches you how to tap into the funding that is in our community all over the USA. But how do you do that if you don't know how to house homeless veterans? Hey there. How do you do that if you don't know how to house homeless veterans? You got to learn. You got to learn. You have to learn. And I have an entire educational platform system that teach you this step by step, because there is no one way of doing veterans housing if you're going to really make, or if you really want to make an impact in a veteran's life, and not just yours. I mean, yeah. So, because we get so many benefits, your first step is to get this book. It's in my bio. It is, oh, I got to put it over here. And learn what veterans housing is. I give you several models in here, including your introduction to HUD-VASH and SSVF. I don't know if I put Continuum of Care. Continuum of Care is the organization that is supposed to bring all of these resources under one roof. Yeah, well, that doesn't always happen. And that's why in my program, I teach you how to find these organizations in your community and align your business to the organizations so that you can receive funding for doing the business you want to do. So, and that goes from transitional housing to rental housing to veterans buying a house and becoming investors, and then business owners. There is no one-stop way, of getting into veterans housing without learning what you need to know. What realtor and my realtor colleagues, they always ask me, Yvette, how do you get paid? Well, let me show you. I wrote a book to teach y'all now, so stop asking me. Get the book and read the book, and later on, I will do another master class and intensive so y'all can really learn, how I was generating a 7-figure income housing homeless veterans. From homeless through their transition to rentals to home ownership to becoming investors and business owners. 22 plus years. You really want to make some money in this community and make a difference in this community, then learn. That's all I can tell you. And I'm teaching it. I'm finally in the public teaching it. Well, this is my 3rd edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. This is the 3rd edition. I was giving this book away to veterans when they come to the workshop at the VA. Hold on. My workshops at the VA, at the vet centers, right over there. Hold on. Let me see what y'all get. All right, at the VA, at the vet centers, at city colleges of Chicago. Here's a schedule that I had created for me and my team to maintain. You talk about making a lot of money in this veterans community. It is unstoppable once you learn that you're not just doing veterans housing. You are doing veterans housing, but your position in the community is an investor. Because think about it. And I teach you this. I have a master class that I have coming up this Thursday. So in my link in the bio, y'all can register for the master class over there on TikTok. And my master class, I've already put it in the link over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. It is unlimited. And my investors, they is it recorded? Is what recorded? No, you join. It's live. I'm on live, just like I am now. So that's what you meant. So This landlord, and I've never seen this landlord until today. Now, he did send me a video a couple weeks ago, and I still got to get it up on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I thought I had it on StreamYard to show. I said, well, just send me a video testimonial. And he did. And we've never seen each other, like I said. And I have a Marine in his building. He's got a 4-unit. Very, very nice. A Marine that's downstairs. A young lady who worked at one of the organizations. One of the veteran organizations back in the day. Or did she work at Section 8? Yes, I work in an hour. Will it be recorded? No, my class. No, it's live. Right now it's live until we record it. But I'm live every single week. I'm working with the coach. So let me explain to you. I'm working with the coach. And I am coming live as my practice, because for 22 years, y'all didn't know about me. I was locked away in the VA at all the vet centers in the Chicagoland area, except for one at the VFWs, at the American. Did I do one at the American Legion before? At the city colleges, Prairie. I mean, just everywhere. Cook County Corrections, Metropolitan Bureau of Prisons, because we have veterans who are being released from incarceration that needed to learn about housing. How do I get housed? And I got this record now. What do I do? She worked. I never worked for Section 8, honey. No, I never worked for Section 8. I wrote a class that I taught realtors how to work with the housing choice voucher back in 2014. My profession, I am a licensed realtor and licensed real estate educator. So my niche market is veterans housing and housing choice vouchers. I house veterans from homeless through their transition to rentals, to becoming homeowners, investors, and business owners. I've got 15 certifications in my career. Right now, I host 15 certifications. My business, VetMentors, is SBA certified and VA verified. I'm on the executive board of directors of the Elite SDVOB Network of Illinois. SDVOB is service disabled veteran owned businesses. And what we do is bring the industry who are looking to work with veteran owned businesses as a contractor, as a sub, or they're hiring them to do a project and getting paid. That's what we do in this organization. What I do is teach the community now openly how to connect your business, which is real estate, to the veterans homeless community. And I've been doing that for over 22 years within the VA and all of these organizations that are calling me and say, hey, Vet, we get 10 homeless veterans. We got 10 consumers who all have vouchers, or they have the funding from this organization, or some of them don't have funding. Can you help us find some help? That's what I do. Thank you for the hearts. So what's the question over here? Y'all got questions coming everywhere. Yes, I would work. Okay, what's this live about? I'm interested in starting a vet home. Hey, San Antonio, Texas. Let's see if we get, I think we have, let me see. Are we in? Yeah, we got somebody in Texas. But in order for you to learn, go to my bio and grab this book. I have a whole private community that I teach, but this is your starting point, A Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models. And that's my name, Yvette Jones Swanson. This book was released #1, a top release in military United States veterans history. I'm like, OMG. Thank you, Amazon, for that recognition, because there's nobody teaching you how to work with veterans and work with the funding that's in our community. If so, I want to meet them, because we need to be doing this together so we can amplify even more. I have 2 Oh, congratulations. You don't partner with me. I don't partner with, I'm teaching you. I'm not a partner. You partner with me in my education. Put it that way. So go get the book. You want to work with veterans specifically and tap into the funding that's in the community. Because I don't stop at transitional. I don't even do independent living, and not in our veterans community. No, ma'am, no, sir. They can live there independently, but they're all in a program to move out of that space. Why keep an able-bodied veteran in a space where they can easily get federal benefits from? You know how many benefits we have in our federal government? Get the book. This is free on VA.gov/get started, and go download this book. If you're in my group, you buy a book, you send me a picture holding the book like this. Let me know what city and state you're in, then I'll put you in my private group. And I also teach this live. I have a master class that's coming up this Thursday. So veterans also receive county benefits. Oh, that's something else. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got another book. This book, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm so glad I don't throw nothing away. State benefits. Y'all see that? Benefits for, this is just for Illinois. Then you got your federal. So the reason I don't teach just independent living, because our veterans can move on. They can move on. You know, we help veterans through our network submit claims for disability and compensation. A veteran who obtains disability and compensation at 100%, and through the program as well, because that's where the federal money goes to these organizations, and part of their program is to teach what? Financial planning. What's financial planning? I teach that in this book. Everything that a veteran needs to do to go from homeless to home ownership. That's what I've been doing for 22 plus years. So you want to work and not just going someplace getting, I mean, look, how you run your business is how you run your business. Congratulations. But if you really want to work in the veteran space, this is all I ask of you, is to learn the veteran space. Learn how veterans can move, because we can move and shake. I just got off the phone with the president of Veterans Commission in one of the south suburbs here. And I said, hey, first of all, another news station, they want to interview me, and they want to interview a veteran who I've taken from homeless to home ownership. I said, well, sure, let me call up a couple of them. So he said, yes. I said, okay, good. I spoke to the mayor a couple months ago, and I told the mayor that I heard that you were doing some real good things in the township. He said, he sure is. How do you know, Yvette? I said, because I was the procuring agent to get him housed. He said, you were? I said, of course. So we're going to start my veterans housing and home buying and credit restoration. And I mean, we just have so many So when I tell y'all how many benefits we have, I never ran out of educating, of education to our veterans and investors. I would invite my investors to come because when I call my investors on the phone, I want them to know what you're getting yourself into. So this is where you come and learn in my workshops at the VA, at the vet centers, at city colleges. They can't come to Cook County Jail or the Metropolitan Bureau of Prisons, of course not. And I was the only one they would let come up and do that. I'm like, dang, y'all, can I at least play a video of my loan officer talking, of my credit guy talking, of my contractor talking, of insurance guy talking? Like what? So I had to handle it. So I told my professionals, look, y'all need to give me a bio and a synopsis of something I could read. But yeah, this has been my space, my jam for over 22 years, housing homeless veterans from homeless to home ownership and everything in between. So I have a master class coming up, Housing America's Heroes, this Thursday from 6 until 8. And I teach you one model in this master class. And my coach has me teaching this one model 13 times live. So I can get myself in position to do more. And when I can record it and then record another one, because now I've gotten myself accustomed to being live and doing a master class, because I've never had to do this before publicly. I've always been at the VA. Boots on the ground. Oh, by the way, I am an Army veteran and I was homeless and I was in a domestic violent marriage by the hands of my then serving U.S. Marine husband. And that's what caused me to be homeless a lot from 1987 to 1993, because when I got out of the Army, and people be like, why we got so many homeless veterans? Because we don't have any money. We didn't have any resources or benefits. That's why. Without money, where are you going to live? I'm going to the VA saying, hey, I need my benefits. I need some resources. And everybody kept saying no. So what is a veteran supposed to do? Yeah, I would get a part-time job. I'm trying to go to school, get my degree, because I know my mom and daddy said, you got to get your college degree. Either you get your college degree or you go to the military. I said, well, I'm doing both. I want it all. So, it was just horrific. It was horrific. I didn't have any benefits as a veteran until 2019. And I've been housing homeless veterans since 2006 or 7. But I knew I had to educate them, because I'm fighting, you're fighting, we're all fighting together. We all need our benefits to get you out of that situation. Whatever situation you're in, we're going to fight and get those benefits. Oh, the state rep sent me over my housing bill. I wrote a housing bill that's going to be an extension to another housing bill here in Illinois. So if Illinois adopts this housing bill, it's really going to help our veterans with vouchers and with SSVF funding and with all other types of funding to house us. Yeah, because people discriminate against veterans. Hello there. Hey, BJ. People discriminate against veterans. Forget about y'all. Hey, thank you for your service. What? And you're not doing nothing? Nothing? Nothing. Not a doggone thing. Nothing. Nothing. So that's why I wrote all these books, so y'all can pick up a book and do something. Hold on, let me grab my books. So this book right here is for those who say, I want to house homeless veterans. Go to my bio, buy the book, read the book, take a picture. My email address is in the book. Send me the picture of you holding the book along with your city and your state. I want you to learn. If you are a realtor like myself, and realtors, I teach you everything in this book. Get this book, and I will be doing a master class because some of y'all are going to be like y'all were back in 2014, 15, and 16. Ooh, Yvette, and they homeless. Yvette, how you get paid? Oh my God, it's just ridiculous. So get that book. If you are somebody who says, well, I want to help learn the system, get this book. This is my 3rd edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. That would be me. I wrote this book on the way back from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That was like a 3-4 hour drive because every workshop that I would conduct along with me and my team, I would give every veteran a folder like this with everything in it, just like what's in the book. The book has more. And then month after month after month, because the workshops were conducted every month, I did 200 workshops at one vet center in Forest Park, Illinois. But month after month after month, the veterans would come back with all of their folders. I'm like, y'all got enough folders to make a book. So I'm going throughout the end. I said, wait, don't leave. She and another veteran got married. I said, don't leave. Let me see what's all in these folders. I'm like, let me figure this out. So now everything is in the book plus more. Thank y'all for being here. If you have not liked to click to share or follow, please do so at the time and go to my bio to get some books. And then I have these. I got a lot of books. I'm an educator. Then I have this book. Thank you for those hearts of Lady Leo and RCD 38, Man of God. I like that. So this book is Finding Home. I help veterans. Oh my God, I'm in love with this book. First of all, I designed the image on this book. And the image on this book is of a woman, military, standing over a city, still in uniform, but can't fit in anywhere. Don't nobody know how to help her. So this was one of my first AI images that I designed. And this was on the cover of my book. So here's another one. Oh, this one, I designed this one too. Where's the original book? Anywho, I designed this one too. So this one is for social workers, case managers, human care professionals, because some of them don't know nothing and some of them don't want to know anything. I've got letters in here. So when y'all get them, y'all can read the letters in the book from the social workers and case managers and human care professionals, explaining why, some of them, why they didn't know anything, because they're not realtors. I had one, thank you for the hearts. I had one social worker. She said, Yvette, and her letter is in the book too. Yvette, I don't know how to find apartments. I've been in my house for 30 years. I said, you need to be trained. So that's when I started training the social workers, case managers, program managers. And then we'd invite the investors in because the investors are the ones with the property. So I started the workshops, the home buying, not the home buying, but the rental workshops at Jesse Brown VA here in Chicago. And then I took those workshops out of the VA, my own workshop, and did them at the vet centers. The first vet center for 10 years. And then I hit the 13-year mark and did 200 workshops at that one vet center. And now the other vet center's jealous. Yvette, can you come over here? Yvette. So then I picked up Chicago Heights Vet Center and stayed there for about 7 years. And then Chicago Vet Center. I'm like, oh, okay, we can put you on rotation. And then Evanston Vet Center. I'm like, Evanston, you know what? I'm not coming back out of here. I'm not coming back here. Y'all want somebody Saturday morning? Oh no, this will be your first and your only workshop. No. So we maintained Forest Park, Chicago Heights, Chicago, and then we rotated the city colleges in there. Did that for years, and that's where all of my clients came from transition to rentals to home ownership to becoming investors and business owners. And that's what I teach you how to do. How to really move a veteran from independent. You can live here as long as you want. You need to do what you got to do because you are independent. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not independent until you get a deed. Because you can get that. You are a veteran. You get your 100%, and we help you with that. And that's what I teach my operators. You have to have a program to get funded by these organizations, by the government, not just to house a veteran. No, that's to help you. I want to thank y'all for being here. I know I had some glitches when we first got started, but thank you for sticking around. And if you have not clicked the link to join my masterclass on Thursday, please do so. And let me drop my bookstore over here. Also go get some books. Because one thing I don't do, I don't answer questions. Especially not the questions that are in the books. And trust me, I know all of my books because I lived every single one of those books. All of these books are my life. My life as a homeless veteran in the neighborhood, couldn't get housed. My life training social workers, case managers, human care professionals, and first responders. My life as a realtor, housing veterans from homeless to home ownership. My life counseling and coaching and consulting owners of veteran shared living models and creating veteran village plans for individual veterans and municipalities. That's something else that I do. Hello, ma'am, from retired Corporal Gutierrez, United States Marine Corps, Miami. Huh? Thanks for being here. Hold on, I have to fix this. So, do you hear what I'm saying about helping us in our community and learning to take our homeless veterans through whatever path they have to go to home ownership? Because we can get those benefits. We just have to apply and put claims in and keep fighting because we know they're ours. I didn't stop fighting. I didn't get my benefits from 1984. That's me at 19. Military MST. Would I have to own a home or can I rent to do this program? You can rent to do the program, the first program. The second program, which I am teaching in my master class, you have to own. But I teach you how to do that too. Because the first program of veteran shared living models, transitional. They don't stay there forever. Not when you're connected, you have aligned your program with funding that's in the community that's to pay for them to be there transitionally. Then, as an investor, you have some place for them to go when they leave your transitional unit. That's another piece in your portfolio. And that's what I teach you in my master class. Because don't just keep them stuck in because you want your money every month. That's that's only one-sided. I don't teach that. I teach you how to do it, but I teach you the next step. And then I teach you the next step and then the next step. Okay, so look over here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I will be back tomorrow. So make sure you click the link and register for my upcoming masterclass. Ciao for now. At the stage. No, I want to end the stream, play talking. Oh my goodness. Why don't they? How can I get out of this? Um, then other states can also